Hello visionaries, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maresa Talbert. I'm the founder and CEO of Talbert Law Office, your favorite go-to legal resource for all things business, nonprofit, and intellectual property law.
My faith rising. I'm crawling out the trenches, holding me. My life.
Today we're following up on my last video, which introduced the Corporate Transparency Act. Last week I mentioned that there are 23 types of entities that would be exempt from the reporting requirements that will be implemented on January 1st, 2024. Although there is a list of 23, I've grouped and categorized the types of businesses to narrow our list down to 8. But it still covers all 23 types of business entities that are exempt from these reporting requirements. All right, so let's jump right in. So the first type of entity that is exempt from reporting under the Corporate Transparency Act is, of course, governmental agencies. They're not going to impose these requirements on themselves. That goes without saying. Number 2 is the Securities Exchange Commission, banks, and credit unions. Number 3 is insurance companies. Number 4 is public utility companies. Number 5 is any public accounting firm formed under Section 102 of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Number 6 is certain types of nonprofit organizations. Number 7, large businesses with at least 20 full-time employees and at least $5 million in annual revenue, and a physical office within the United States. And number 8 are the subsidiaries of those businesses that are exempt, meaning the large companies that make over $5 million a year and have a bunch of employees. The subsidiaries of those companies are exempt as well. So that boils down to the little guy like you and I, small businesses. Small business owners. All right, so let's talk about how we can prepare for what is to come in 2024. The first thing you need to do is review your business entity structure. You should know what type of business you have, whether it's an LLC, whether it's an S Corp, a C Corp, a partnership, a limited partnership. Know what your structure is. It is also important to note that being taxed as a certain structure does not change the structure you're formed as. So let's just say you're an LLC, but you have elected to be taxed as an S Corp. You are still an LLC in your formation and your structure. So I want to make sure that you don't confuse those. Number 2 is make sure that you identify your beneficial owners. Remember that your beneficial owners are the individuals that own or control at least 25% of the company's equity or voting rights. Number 3, create a ledger for both your beneficial owners and your company applicants. So basically it's just a list, a document that contains all the required information for both your beneficial owners and your company applicants. And we talked about what is required in the last video. I'll link it in the description box below and up above if you need to go back to that video to look at what is required for reporting. Number 4, consider integrating a periodic review of your company's compliance. So far, I haven't seen any documentation that states that this reporting is an annual reporting requirement. However, you do have to provide an updated report when there are changes made in your business. So if you change your address, if you add on a company owner, if a company owner's home address changes, those updates are required to be made within 30 days of the change. So maybe you do an annual review to make sure that all of your information is compliant. Maybe you implement a review every 6 months within your company. Whatever works best for your company, but consider integrating that so that you are making sure that everything stays up to date and that you're accurate so that you're not subject to fines and penalties based on reporting something late. Lastly, make sure that you're staying up to date on any following changes that occur with the CTA. The Financial Crimes Enforcement Network has already indicated that there will be additional guidance released in the near future. And as I mentioned in my last video, I will be following that and I will try to keep you all up to date on changes that are being made as they're happening. But you should definitely keep an eye out for updates as well. Well, that's all for now. I hope this information was helpful. As always, this is Talbert Law Office, your favorite go-to legal resource for all things business, nonprofit, and intellectual property law. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
I done made it this far.